Hey there, and welcome to another episode of All Up in Your Business podcast with me, Kayleigh Bain. And I am so pumped as this is my birthday week episode, and I thought this was such a fun way to showcase kind of where I got my starting with business and whatnot. And also, I share a birthday with my really cool ass nephew, Weston. So he's going to be coming in with some words of wisdom for you guys. So don't disappoint him. Listen, and then you'll hear a quick little message from him at the very end. But yes, I hope you enjoy this episode. Sorry it's a little bit long, but it's totally worth it, and it's fun, and I give some advice for some teenagers, so kind of cool. Anywho, enjoy.
I'm gonna do another portal track.
If you don't know, we were talking about Minecraft.
It's the ultimate. I'm gonna call it the ultimate track.
Can you tell the people what a piglin is?
They're evil. So they're evil, and they're so evil.
What do they look like?
I don't know. Those evil pigs look standing up. They stand up, and they're zombie evil piglins.
Alright, so besides Minecraft, what else do you like?
I like, stuff that are cool.
Stuff that are cool. I don't blame you. Let's see, what's your favorite animal?
Foxes are so cute in the game.
Oh. But what about in, real world? What's your favorite animal?
There's sheep and pig.
You like sheep and pigs. You know what? Those are both great. Okay.
Did you just burp into the microphone?
What's your favorite Minecraft character?
I don't know Minecraft.
What's your favorite food?
Oh, my favorite food? It's either ice cream or sushi.
I like sushi.
You don't even know what it is.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
I'm an entomologist.
Whoa, can you tell me what that is?
They keep bugs.
Oh, they dig bugs?
They keep bugs.
Oh, they keep bugs. That is so cool. Okay.
And they feed them.
What's your favorite bug? What's your favorite?
I like spiders. Trapdoor spiders are cool.
Trapdoor spiders?
They trap any bug. I like caterpillars and monarch butterflies.
Welcome to All Up in Your Business podcast with me, your host, Kayleigh Bain, where I tell the stories of other people usually, but today's episode's really special and exciting and all the things because it's my birthday episode. So I thought, what a cool way to spend a birthday week than to interview my old business teacher from high school and kind of ask her questions, have her ask me questions and all the things. So, hey, Miss Saunders.
Hello, and I like old business teacher.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
Back in the day.
Yeah. It was only 15 years ago.
No, it wasn't. Was it really?
Yeah, because I pulled out your picture.
My picture?
The poster
Oh
from
my
you guys
God.
in the class
When
of
was
2011. So I don't know if you were a senior when you took ownership or not, and when you were the apprentice, but
Yeah, it was junior, senior year.
yeah.
That's when I got into it. It's when my mom forced me, but we're going to get into that.
Yeah, good.
So, hey there. So tell us, what is it that you do?
So I am a business teacher. I teach family consumer sciences, and I do our internship program. And I've been doing it here at Greenwich High School for 24 years. Fax classes I've been doing since maybe 15 years. Yeah. So that's what I do. I teach a little bit of everything. I teach law, teach business classes, I do the mock trial team, and I teach you how to sew and cook. So you name it, come to room 204. I'll teach
Everything
you.
from sewing and cooking to law.
Yes, exactly.
Are you doing the home ec classes now too?
Yeah, so when Miss Danish retired, I got I got my certification in family consumer sciences as well, so that I didn't have to share the room and we weren't teaching one out of our certification area. And so now, so I have 3 junior high classes.
Oh my gosh. So for everyone who has no idea where Greenwich High School is, this is not Greenwich Village in New York City. It's not wherever else you think it is. It's like way, way upstate New York in the middle of flipping nowhere. So, I remember like next to our track field was the cornfield, and then right on the other side of that is the graveyard. And yeah, and it was it's country. It is just so country. And oh man, that place. There's a couple a couple red lights. There's a McDonald's and a Dunkin' Donuts. There used to be a Kmart. I think it's Big Lots now.
No, Big Lots closed too, so it's empty right now.
Okay, well, there's nothing there. There's nothing in this town, really. It's just a little cute.
Well, we have Tractor Supply.
Oh boy. And so all the tractors for prom, people would be driving their tractors in because we weren't allowed to have limos. It was wild, wild time. How is good old Greenwich?
Yes, it's good. It's good. It hasn't changed. It's a lot of fun to be here and work here, and the students obviously are the best part. And one thing about having junior high that I didn't like initially, I get to watch them grow up from 7th grade right on through to 12th. So it's not just 9 through 12 anymore. It's, watching them mature.
Wow.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah, so another thing about this school that I went to, she teaches at, is that it's so small that everything's in one school. So you have 7th through 12th all in the same building, which here, I live in Raleigh now, which is not that way at all. Like you have, I don't even know. I don't know how many grades they have per building, but there's a lot of the buildings just for one little town, or one of the towns, which is crazy. That was one of the cool things of like growing up and growing to somewhere bigger. I was like, oh my gosh, like there's so many schools just for this one town. You're telling me there's 3 elementaries. I'm like, wow, it's just wild. I still can't get my head around it, and it's been a while since I've been here. So what got you into becoming a business teacher?
So it's a little bit of a long story, but I'll condense it. And I like to tell it to my junior high kids when I start the career unit, because you never really know where you're going to end up and what path you'll end up taking. So when I was in high school, I graduated 10th out of 300 kids, and I came from what I thought at the time was a small school with 300 kids per class. But when I came to Greenwich, I realized it could be smaller with about 100 kids per class, and now we're down to like 70 per class. So I like to say I'm a college dropout, and so I graduated 10th out of 310, and my guidance counselor says, oh, go to the community college, you can go for secretarial studies. So it wasn't that long ago that women still kind of were sent down a certain path, and we didn't know any different either. And I had, besides taking business classes in high school and doing an internship at IBM as an administrative assistant, I also majored in math. And I remember my math teacher, Mr. Morier, saying to me, well, you going to college? And I'm like, well, I don't know. Do I need college? I can get a job without college. And he says, well, you like math? And I'm like, what would I do with a math degree? And he goes, be a math teacher. I'm like, no way do I want to be a teacher. When I'm out of here, I'm done, So I went to college, the community college for free, the first semester, bored out of my mind. So in November, like 3 weeks before I would have finished the semester, I dropped out because I got a full-time job as an administrative assistant. So I worked at a couple different places, an administrative assistant for about 5 years, and I finally ended up with an insurance company. And there I had a great mentor. She was awesome. So she said, well, why don't you go to college, but don't go for secretarial studies. You know how to do that. Go for business administration. So I started working full-time because now I'm out on my own. I have my own bills. And I got through that in 5 years, did my associate's degree. And then I'm like, well, now what do I want to do? And by now I had moved up and moved to Albany from the Sorgeties area, which is where I grew up. And I said, well, do I want to keep going to school? I want to go to school to do something different, not something I'm already going to do and that I already have the experience would probably advance just as far with or without it at that point. So I did some self-assessment, and I realized insurance wasn't that exciting. I realized what I really enjoyed was teaching people how to take advantage, or maybe not take advantage, but utilize their insurance and understand it. And I really liked kids. So I'm like, maybe I should be a teacher. I looked at being an elementary teacher. and a lot of my credits would not have transferred to that, or I would not have used them. So then I got thinking about it, and I'm like, well, what did I enjoy in high school? And I love my business classes. Still use them to this day, especially keyboarding, which a lot of people say, you don't need to teach that. But that, like I said, I still use it today. So I said, well, why not be a business teacher? I looked into that. I was able to get a degree at Siena College, which was, this time I'm living in Albany. And so I got my business degree there, and then business degree in secondary ed certification, and then I was lucky enough to get the job here at Greenwich, which is another random story how that happened. So I got that degree, and then got the job here, and eventually had to get my master's degree too, so in order to teach.
So then what position did you start at when you were at Greenwich?
So a business teacher, just business.
Just business, okay.
Yeah. And I did the internship program, but that kind of fell under the business department. I taught ownership, I taught computer applications, and law. So I've always been teaching law. So.
Okay. And what's your favorite thing when you're teaching? Like, what's like the one thing you look forward to teaching kids every year?
Is my law class. I love my law class. I mean,
Yeah.
Cooking is fun, and the sewing part is fun, but the business stuff is what I enjoyed. I mean, I used to like teaching ownership, but I still love law. Is definitely my favorite.
Oh, that's cool. I think I got into the business classes junior year, I believe, because I was doing art classes because my mom, she really, really wanted me to do business. And I was like, ain't no way in hell I'm doing business. Not doing it. So I just did art classes, and I forget, there was Miss Meyer, and then there was one right next to Miss Meyer.
Miss Dupuy.
Miss
Miss
Dupuy.
Dupuy.
Yep. So I was we were doing ceramics, and I was like, I love this. This is where it's at. And I was telling my mom, I was like, Mom, like, I really want to do art classes. And she's like, if you're doing art, you are definitely going to have to do business too. After that, I was like, fine, I'll just do one business class. And that's when I took it with you. And so at that point, I was doing art with Miss Meyer and doing business ownership with you. And I was like, actually, like, I don't hate this. And I hate that I had to admit that I didn't hate it. So, what was it? I ended up being like all right at art too. And my mom was like, oh my gosh, like, I kind of want to let you do it, but I really want you to take more business classes, because if you're going to do anything in the future, you're going to have business with it. And I just didn't want to say yes to her. And I don't know why. I was just so against everything she said, because you're a teenager, because why not? And so at that point, we did business ownership. I loved how you taught the class, and I was also doing home ec before that. And I remember making my first chocolate chip cookie from scratch. And I remember exactly who it was. I was like, oh, I need the sugar. And they handed me the salt. And I didn't even notice they handed me the salt. And so after the cookies came out, they tasted horrid. Oh my God, they were terrible. And then I remember we failed that assignment. I was like, why did I not check the sugar? And it was just so stupid. And it was just so funny though, because I was like, so every time I make cookies now, that's all I think about is the stupid salt. So you have to taste a salt cookie one time and you'll never do it again. Right? So then,
sure.
Yeah, so then that's when we took when I took business ownership. I forget how the whole thing started, but we got to the point where we were doing The Apprentice, because at the time The Apprentice was like huge. And no matter where we all stand today, like, that show at one point was like the show to watch, and it was just cool. And when we did it, I thought it was the coolest thing ever, because each of us had our own teams and everything. And then it got down to the last two, which I'm pretty sure was Lacey Campbell and I.
Was it Lacey? I can't even remember who it was, but you're right. If I look at that picture, probably.
Yeah, because it got down to her and I, and I remember you gave me the option to either take it all for myself or split it with Lacey. And I was just like, well, I didn't get all the way here totally by myself. Like, Lacey was there with me too, so I split it with her. Yeah. And I remember to this day, because at the time I also worked at Hollis Springs, and I was bartending and doing stuff at Hollis Springs. And it was my first night working my late night, because I was finally of age, I could do that. And we were working the Anne Margaret Gala. And let's see, Bobby Flay was there, Anne Margaret, like all these high people, right? And so like we're giving out drinks everywhere, and I got tipped like $50. And this guy gave me the $50, and I was like, okay, this is cool. And then the girl that was working the section with me, she got no tips. And she was just like, oh, like it was both her and I's like first day. And so I ended up splitting my $50 with her, and I'm like, here, you take 25 and I'll take 25. And I told my dad that night, and I'm like, I got the biggest tip ever. Like, I split with this girl, and my dad was so mad. He's like, Kayleigh, why are you splitting things like that? You can't be splitting stuff like that. Like, you have to take that money and like save it. I was like, I didn't do it myself. Like, she helped me get through that whole section.
That's
And
a
then
great story.
yeah, so I just started learning that I'm really bad at taking things for myself, and I just rather share them with people. Oh, but business ownership, that was such a fun class, and I
That
think
was.
when people are, I totally forget how it works. When they're in high school, do they choose to do business, or is it kind of like one of the mandatory things yet?
No, it's not mandatory. They choose it. So FACS can be, is kind of mandatory in junior high if it fits in your schedule, if you're not taking advanced classes or other things. And it's kind of a pipeline to get them into business, because in seventh grade we just pretty much focus on cooking and sewing and getting along with each other kind of thing. But then in eighth grade we do careers, and we do finance, like checking accounts, and I run a little auction now, like they punch in every day. I don't know if I had you guys do that. I know I did originally have my business students punch in at one point, but then they have to keep their checkbook. And then what I do, like this Friday, we're going to do an auction. And the auction is things that people bring in that they're getting rid of, that they would normally throw out or put in a yard sale, or it's the randomest things. Even our superintendent does it. So it's like when you're cleaning out.
Yeah.
So I auction it off, and they spend their money, and they have to write a check and that kind of thing. So yeah,
so
I like
cool.
bringing the real world to the classroom, because it makes you realize what's relevant,
Yeah,
and what's real. Will be
yeah.
real.
I don't know. I don't know if other schools do these things, but I think, I mean, it seems so silly, like taking a cooking class in high school. Like, I don't know. I thought it was cool, and then doing like the checks and balance class, I thought was really neat. And then I did keyboarding over next to Miss Joanne's office.
Yeah.
I think all this stuff, like, at the time, I was super like, this is so dumb. But now, I guess we are 15 years later.
Yes.
It's disgusting to think about. Like, thinking of it now, I'm like, yeah, I'm a fast typer. Like, yeah, I know how to do a checkbook, which a lot of the young people don't really know how to do anymore.
Right.
It's just a lot of things that, like, at the time, I just thought was so dumb. And then thinking about it now, it's like, oh, yeah. Like, there is nothing else.
Well, that's why I like my business classes, because they were real, pragmatic. I knew I was going to use it someday, and really, that's how I got my first job, was from what I learned in my business classes. And what I like to do now is, like, sometimes, like, we tie stuff together, whether it's math or, like, in law, so something with social studies, and I kind of tie it in, or English, whatever. I'm like, see, what you learn in your other core classes, which you may find boring, you're going to use some of it. You might not use trig every day, but you might if you become an engineer or something, right? So, and you don't know where you're going to end up.
Yeah, and like, when I went to college, I was like, that's it. I'm done with business. That was fun for a minute. Goodbye. And so then when I went to school, I went to SUNY Potsdam, and we had what's called a FIG, an FIG. And you can be like a history FIG, an art FIG, any of a topic in FIG. So I was an art FIG. And what it is like, if you don't know what you really want to do, but you have an idea, they have so let's say like the art FIG. I would take all my gen eds, but it was art related. So like art, history, obviously you have to have math. I did a geometry class, or not geometry, geography. And we did some other ones, but it was just like, you're getting a gen ed fulfilled by taking something of that realm, which I thought was really cool.
Right.
And so that's where I figured out I love art history, I love museum studies, I love anthropology, I love all that. So then I end up minoring in all of that, and then what'd I do? I concentrated in art and painting and graphics, and then I think it was my sophomore or junior year is when I got back into business. Because I was like, what if this doesn't go well for me? I think I should have a business background. Because I always had an entrepreneur like mindset too. So I was like, I think it'd just be helpful. So then I took marketing junior and senior year, I remember. And oh my God, I got like, it was like the only class I got a 4.0, and I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Mind you, like, I was so excited because I made like deans and presidents list every semester because I was like hell bent on doing well. I was just very proud. I was like, wow, I'm actually good at something.
Well, I tell the kids all the time, everything is a business. It doesn't matter what it is. You could be a farmer, you could be an entrepreneur, you could be a doctor, right? The practice is business. Schools, their business. The widgets we turn out are a little different than like normal, but you know, so everything's a business. So.
And it's wild, like in Raleigh, and I know Greenwich would thrive on this, but like you have everyone in the trades business. So like anything from roofing to windows to floor to cabinets, like all those things. And even farmers, there's so many different things you can have on a farm, let's say. There's so much to it. It's wild. So
and
along
every
your
business has little things in it. And that's what I like about doing the internship program is I get to see, because I know that behind the scenes there's way more things going on than, like even in a law firm, there's way more going on than just the attorneys at court, because that's a tiny, tiny piece of it.
what's the internship program that you do? Like, what is it that you do there?
Okay, so the internship program is, oh, now I lost you altogether, Lord. It should not be this difficult. This is what happens with an old teacher, right? So the internship program, I've been doing this the whole time too, but I place students, or I make connections with the community in local businesses to take students for about 20 to 30 hours, and sometimes they do the whole year with them, depends on what it is they're doing. And so they do an internship. They get out of school a period or two or a couple of periods, and sometimes they do it in the summer. And they get to see and look at different careers. And I really push that, like, do 4 different ones, because this is the time to do it. And then there's some classwork with it, like timesheets and reflection and, you know, career research. But what's really cool with this, and it kind of ties into, like, the business, so some of the places here in Greenwich, when I sold insurance, they were my clients. So I was selling insurance to them and servicing the insurance, and then come full circle, and now I'm selling them like the internship program, and please take our interns. So it's really cool. Fort Miller is one prime example. Like they were a client when I worked at the 2 different insurance companies, and now I've been working for him 24 years doing internship. So. Oh,
wow. I'm pretty sure my dad worked at Fort Miller, like, way back. Like,
he might have, yeah. Probably.
I remember him saying...
I think everybody has.
Right, I feel like everyone in the area has. Because I remember I was talking to him one day, and I'm like, what's, like, one job that you had that you, like, loved? And he's like, I loved Fort Miller, and I wish I never left it. So... Yeah. Which I think is, like, I never talked to my dad about business stuff because he kind of ping-ponged around businesses, or jobs, but, like, that was one he's like, he really liked that one, which I thought was really interesting. So then kind of, like, looking back on things, what's, like, a hard lesson you've learned along your path?
A hard lesson that I have learned. Don't sweat the small stuff. And, you know, except there's certain things you're not going to change. So change what you can. And learn how to say no, because at different points I have been, you know, you're doing 100 different things and you think you have to do them all. And like at one point I was union president because I was between insurance and teaching. I spent a couple years at NICET, the teachers union, and as administrative assistant, I kind of went back to doing that so I didn't have to be on the road so I can finish my degree. And I enjoyed it. And actually, I made more there than I made when I first started teaching. But when the teacher retired who was the union president, I stepped up because I have experience in it. That's what my master's is in labor and policy studies. And so I was the union president for 4 years. And it was insane to do that and teach. It was just like overwhelming. And I kind of just stepped back. I'm like, wait, I went into all this debt to become a teacher, which is what I'm really passionate about. I don't need to do this union stuff. Yeah, do I have the experience? Do I have the knowledge? But I don't need to be doing that. So then I backed out of that. So yeah, and you just learn as you get older, like, to prioritize what's really important.
Yeah. I think saying no is it's one of the hardest things to do. Because I feel like growing up, you're always taught like a yes man type thing. And it's just like,
Yes.
yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then it's just like, oh my God, I'm exhausted. Exhausted.
Oh, this will look good, and this will look good, and this will look good. It's like, yeah, but you're going to hurt yourself.
Yeah. And I think not sweating the small stuff is huge, like huge. And I work with a nonprofit in town. And before I was contracted with them, I was like there full time. And she was my first nonprofit episode that I had on this podcast. And she was my boss, and I absolutely love her. She's one of my mentors too. And she, like, one of her key sayings she always says to her daughters and me and whoever else, she's like, it's not that deep. Not that deep. And I was like, you're right, it's not that deep. It's not that deep.
Yes.
So I've like adopted that as a saying of my own.
Yes.
Because it's 9 times out of 10, it's not that deep.
No. And it's not going to matter. You're going to look back and you're like, I don't even remember that now, or whatever. So
Yeah. Oh my gosh, like that. If I knew that back then.
yes. Yes.
Like when you're so worried about like what everyone thinks of you all the time, it's just like no one gives a shit.
Yes.
In fact, no one cares. And if they do, they have nothing else to do with their life.
Right.
They got nothing else going on. At least that's what I tell myself to make myself feel better. So.
Yeah. But you're right. It doesn't. Yeah. Don't worry about
doesn't.
what other people tell you. Yeah.
I know. If I could go back to like young me, that's what I would say. I'm like, just
Young
stop
you. You
caring.
are young you.
If I could go back to like 16-year-old me.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah. Just wild. So then going off that, what's a piece of advice you'd give someone wanting to go into the business field or even teaching?
I would say do it. Like, if it's your path, like whatever you're going to do, love it or enjoy it. And you're not going to love it every day at all, but the majority. And when I look at, because I've been going through things, because I got one more year and then I'm going to retire, and I've had a student teacher, so I've had a little bit of time. So I start cleaning out closets and finding things, and I'm like, boy, I don't need that. But it's like it's bringing closure to it, which I really like that I have a year to do that, because it's going to be tough not being around the kids. Like, that definitely is my, they're fun. I still get to be a kid. Like, I don't feel like an old white-haired lady when I'm around them all the time. They help me with this technology stuff, and,
You literally do not look, beside, like, your hair has changed, but other than that, like, you do
the
not look
COVID
any
hair.
different. Like, you look exactly the same. That's why I was like, oh, like, I love the new hair. I think it's so pretty. I love it. I think it's so cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you would say just do it.
Yeah, just do it. Don't be worried about it. Like, when I thought I wanted to be a teacher, it's going to it took me 15, 16 years to finish all the education. I don't know, it was probably like 12 to actually get the teaching job. But it was, I tell the students I went to school after high school for 16 years because I went part-time. But you just keep plugging away a little bit at a time, and, really, you can manifest it. You just take baby steps, sometimes step back from the bigger picture so you're not overwhelmed. But, like, just do it. Like, if you think you want to try, and so what? If you do it and you hate it, then you'll go do something else. So.
Yeah, then you at least know. That's why I think the internship program, and there was another I don't know if it's still there, but there was another program there. Maybe it was a BOCES program, where you get to try, like, doing a trade, and then you see.
BOCES, yeah.
I mean, my mom worked at BOCES, so.
Yes.
It's just, I think that's such a cool concept that kids can do, and. Because, I mean, I talk to kids all the time if I'm, like, visiting someone at their shop or their store or whatever. Like, I met these 2 girls, so sweet. Oh my God, they're so adorable. And they're like, yeah, we're about to graduate next year. And I was like, you guys are adorable. I love you. And they're like, yeah, like, we're going to be looking for an internship. And I was like, oh, like, what kind of internship are you guys looking for? And they're just like, well, we want to do something in marketing, but we don't really know what. Because marketing's
is
so
huge.
Yeah, marketing, there's so much to it. I'm like, I got you. If you want an internship, like I can give you one. And it's just so cool to be like in a space where like I can have people as my intern.
Yes.
And I love it because I love teaching, and because I teach about like how to use social media and how to use
Right.
Canva and how do you use that as free marketing to market a business. Because I work a lot with like real estate agents or anyone in the trades, or I work
Right.
with a lot of small businesses is really what it is, and people who don't have a lot of money. And so I try to teach them like, this is what you're doing to do the thing, to get the money back. And,
Now, are you in marketing? Is that right? You're in marketing, right?
Yep. So I have my own business called Huntington Marketing, and that is a social media management business. And so what I specialize in social media and Canva and doing stuff for yourself, but I mean, I do email marketing. I do a lot. I love doing consultations. Like that's kind of where I thrive because I love that one-on-one, like just teaching them. What else? I do a little bit of everything. I do networking events. I'm thinking about not coaching, but just doing more content about how important networking is. Because that's how I've gotten all of any of my business. And for the first year and I mean, before I went full time, I was about 2-ish years on my own. And it was great. I had a situation happen. I had to take a break to figure out what I really wanted to do. So I took a little 6-month break, but then I went back into it part time. But I never once had to search out business. Like, because I did so much networking, people just constantly kept coming. I'm like, this is actually amazing. And I'm like, I feel like this is going to end eventually, but I don't know. But here I am, like, still doing it on the side, and I still don't have to approach people. So it's just like, the power of networking is awesome.
Oh, it's so much. I mean, and how I ended up at Greenwich, they had a program where when you were doing your student teaching, you went to Albany and all these schools were there, and I called it like a cattle call, and you scheduled an appointment with a couple schools, but then in the meantime when you were waiting, you're all waiting in this one big room, and if a school had extra time, they would come out and say, okay, put your name in a hat if you're interested in this position. And so Greenwich was one of them, and like I knew where Greenwich was. I lived in Saratoga. Half the other people thought it was Greenwich, Connecticut, or Greenwich something.
Yeah.
And
It's not Greenwich.
yeah, and it said technology. I'm like, well, I'm business, but maybe they're looking for somebody to teach like computer applications, and that's business. So I went and I met with Mr. Donnelly, and he said, well, I don't have a position open right now, but I'll take your resume because I know other superintendents in schools that have business programs. And it was like 2 weeks later he called. He says, you want to come in for an interview for a maternity leave? So I did. I had the interview. It went great. And I'm waiting. And then a couple weeks later I hear back. I'm like, well, I got to figure out how I can negotiate benefits, because it's not usually for short-term leave. And, one of the teachers left, so that maternity leave is a permanent position and we want to offer it to you.
Oh,
So-
wow. Oh my gosh.
Well,
that's
because
so
I threw my
cool.
name in a hat, my name got pulled and I got to go, so.
Oh my God, that is so cool. I love that. Oh, that's so cool.
So I was meant to be here for whatever reason. So in Greenwich.
I mean, you have a great reputation. So. I mean, you're like one of the reasons like I like felt comfortable. First off, like, I mean, I had friends, not that I didn't have friends. I had friends, but I never belonged to a group. I ping-ponged to every single kind of group. So I'm like, I don't really belong to anybody. Like, I'm my own person. Like, I'm going to do my own thing. And
Yes.
I just remember I was just kind of like a free bird. I'm just kidding. Go over here, go over here. And of course, you have the bullies, and I say F the bullies, whatever.
Yep.
And most of the time, like, I guess I was just fortunate enough to have the attitude of like, what is your problem? Like, I don't understand why you're doing this. Like, I'll never forget, I was dating air quotes, heavy air quotes, because dating in 7th grade is literally like, hee, I like you. Like, it was a joke, an absolute joke. And I remember Marcus Henderson and I think again, air quote, dated for a hot second. And I remember my bully at the time, she came up behind me and started barking at me. And I was like, are you okay? What's happening? Oh my gosh. And I just think it's so funny. And I'm just like, luckily I just never let it bother me too much.
Right.
But, yeah, no, you were like
high
one of
school-
those, you had the classroom that you could go to and just like hang out, and it was like a safe space almost. You and Miss Myers had like the safe space rooms. And Miss Foote.
Yeah, I'd still say it's that. That's why I say my fan club, but it is like I still have a lunch group here. So yeah, so I always have I have a different group here all the time, and sometimes it's funny to look at who the kids are, because they're so different, But they'll say that it's a safe space. So
It is. I think like the teacher plus the room environment and just like the overall, like, you would not catch me dead in a math room. Absolutely not. Unless it was Mr. Rudes. Mr. Rudes was my absolute, he was the one person I could really learn. I think he was like algebra maybe. I don't know. I am awful at math. I am not math. No, no ma'am. But like I got it when he did it, and I was like, Mr. Rude, there's something about you. Like, you are magic. And my dad remembers him from back. She's like, oh my God, Mr. Rude was the only teacher I could really learn anything from. And I was like, yeah, I get it. Like, Mr. Rude just has a way. He's just funny. And yeah, it was so good. And then Mr. Waite, Mr. Patrick, like they were all just so great.
It's a relationship, and anything you do, but especially I think in teaching, you build relationships with the students, and if you don't think you can reach, like, figure out something that you can reach them with, whether it's food or whether it's, okay, I'm a Steelers fan too, or what have you. And I think that carries out into the real world too. Like, it's not just school, but
yeah, like
it's.
Yeah, for me, like Mr. Waite, oh my gosh, like R.I.P. Mr. Waite. I adored him. He was amazing, and he was the assistant soccer coach. Granted, I sucked at soccer. I sucked at all sports. I did it to have fun because I lived in the middle of nowhere with no one around me, and I'm like, I gotta do something. So I did soccer for 12 years. And Mr. Waite was the first assistant coach he was my coach for a couple years. Oh my God, I adored him because he took the time, he could see I was not good, and I knew I wasn't good, but he took the time, and he would do drills with me, and he really practiced, and he knew I struggled with trigonometry, I struggle with math, and he would take the time after school and really, really help me, and I was like, yes, you get it, Mr. Waite, you are the perfect teacher that gets when someone needs help in the work, and I'm not good at asking for help, and he just saw it, and he just saw that. And I think one thing I'll always regret with him, but in a way it's funny at the same time. So those big old calculators you get, and they're the school calculators?
Yeah.
Well, I never gave mine back because I forgot.
Oh.
So I still have my Greenwich big fat calculator. And I'll never, it even says weight on the back of it too. And I was like,
no.
Oh no, I low-key
awesome.
just kind of stole his calculator. I was I even said to myself, I'm like, oh, I'm going to bring this back to Greenwich next time I'm in town. Be like, hey, here's your calculator. And then when I heard the news, I was like, I literally started crying because I was like, I'll never be able to give him his calculator back. If anything, I know he would be laughing so hard about that. I'm like, Kayleigh, it's a calculator.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
But yeah. Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
So I guess we can switch this on over to your questions.
Yeah.
Which is fun and nerve-wracking.
And I think some of it too, though, we've kind of touched on, but sometimes I wonder what made it special, or what was the really cool thing you learned, and then of course any advice for the high school students or even junior high students, because when this airs I might show it.
I think it also helped because you got to know my mom. And
true.
Because not a lot of teachers try to get to know the parents that much, and they'll only get to really know them if they're on a soccer field with them, or if their kid's just really good at it. They're like, oh wow, I like you. So I don't know, you're just one of the few people that took the time to get to know my mom. And I think that made her feel better about me doing business, because I was so anti-business, and I was like, I don't want to do business. I don't. And so then I think I just started coming up here because of Miss Sloan Haynes. Yeah, and that's right. I would hang out with her a lot because Logan and I were best friends. And so as I was hanging out in that area, I got to know you a little bit. And I was like, oh, you're actually kind of funny. I like you. And then doing the home ec classes where I made the salt cookies. And I think you were just always around. And I just you just had really, really good energy. And I'm I believe in good energy. And so I think I was just very drawn to you, and that just helped. And then I did struggle. I was not good in school. I think I had a 3.8 average, which gets you nowhere. Not 3.8, I'm sorry. I'd be really smart if that was the case.
I'm like, wait, what is she saying?
No, I honestly don't remember. I did not. It was above a 3.0, but it wasn't like, it was just like a .05 for most colleges. And then also, like, not that we were poor, but it's just like we just didn't have a lot of money. Like, my dad bought the trucking business. Everything kept going wrong with the truck. I couldn't apply to colleges because I had no money. And then I remember the guidance counselor paid for me to go to apply to one school. And so I think just like with all these like matters, like I'd go to your room and it was just like there was never issues. Like I didn't have the bullies. I didn't have my soccer coach at the time telling me I suck basically. So
Right.
it was just like anything that there was issues is like I just go to your room and just talk to you and you were just like an aunt to me. And I was like,
Okay.
this is fun. Actually, I like it here. Like this is cool. And then that's when I started learning from you that like business isn't as boring AF as my mom and everyone else in the world made it be. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, it was just really, really cool. And then doing just in my head, I just saw business, and it was just like, in my head, I'm like snooze fest. I don't want to do this. But then, when you did the business ownership and the apprentice and all that kind of stuff, it was just like, okay, like there's more to this than I think there is. Because in my head, I'm like, oh, accounting, absolutely not. No numbers, no thank you. And so seeing all the different ways you could do business, I thought was really cool. Because at the time, I think it was shortly after that, because when I went to college is when I did Pampered Chef. Because, my mom always did Avon and Pampered Chef and all those things. And I was like, I want to do one of those. I want to make money. Yeah. And then learning all the different ways you could do it, I thought was just so cool. And then I think it was just different ways of seeing how to do business. I'm trying to think of how I saw it in my head. And I can't go back to like 16-year-old me.
Yeah, that's a while ago.
It was a minute ago, because in my head, I wanted to do anything that was opposite than what my parents wanted me to do.
Right.
As every teenager does, right? So, and I think it's just seeing, I don't want to say my dad failed. My dad didn't fail with the trucking business. It just, that he just bought a bad truck that just broke all the time. And just so seeing the risks, I think, like really scared me. Like, I don't know about that. Yeah. And so then fast forward to 2017, I ended up buying a business. It was a small hot cycling, hot yoga studio.
Oh.
So I managed it for a year, bought it. Long story short, a lot of things happened there. And I learned a lot. But it was just like, you gotta, I think now I know. So you just have to take risks sometimes, and it's not always going to be pretty. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. Like I said, your class was safe space. I learned a lot of just the not normal business stuff. And it wasn't farming, because I did not want to go into farming.
Right.
I was like,
and that's what, like I said, it could be, it could be ag business, but it also could be whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because like at the time, I did not know what I wanted to do. I was like, I know I want to get out of Greenwich. I know that for sure. And like, loved my parents, loved everyone, but like I didn't have a solid like core group of people that were keeping me in Greenwich.
Right.
And I guarantee if you let any of your kids listen to this, a lot of them will feel the same way too. Or they're just like, I don't know what I want to do. Do I want to go to ACC, or do I want to go do this? And I'm like, just go. If you have the opportunity. Also, it helps talking to your teachers. I'm pretty sure like I was really good friends with like all of my teachers as a student. And it was just like, I don't know. I've even to this day, I'm almost 33, and I find that I get along with people that are older than me than people my own age.
Well, you're a bit of an old soul too. Like you. Yeah. I mean, you said you were, but you were very mature. You were very caring, and you were fun. Like I said, doing the Irish step dancing around the room,
just dancing around the room.
Yep.
Yeah. Fun fact for anyone who's listening: I used to do Irish dancing for 8 years. And I remember my friend Betsy, her mom was a teacher, and she's like, Kayleigh Bain, you better be practicing. And I was like, okay, Darcy. And so what I'd go around the business room just practicing my dancing.
It was great.
And now Miss Saunders did dancing with your granddaughter.
Yeah, I did it for a year. I took my granddaughter and we did it for a year, and I loved it. I wasn't good at remembering the steps in the I guess, routine. Mm-hmm. And my granddaughter would say, B doesn't get it. B doesn't remember. She could do it, but she doesn't remember.
You're trying. That's all that matters.
Yeah, right. So.
Yeah. And it paid off being friends with as many teachers as possible, because then if I did need help, then you have the Mr. Waits who are like, Kayleigh, let's stay after class and like let me help you. Although I'll never ever let him live it down, because he gave me my first and only detention.
Really?
Because that big fat ass calculator I had.
That's right.
So this was the time where skinny jeans were very tight, and I had my little flip phone, and I forgot to take it out of my pants to leave it in my locker because we just came out of lunch or something. And I was like, oh crap! And so I like put it in my desk. So it was like in the little desk, and then so pretend this is the desk. I had my calculator like this, and I'm typing away in the calculator trying to do the problem, and he's like, Kayleigh, detention. And I was like, you talking to me? What? For what? And he's just like, you're on your phone, Kayleigh. And I'm like, this is a calculator. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh my God. And like, I never get mad. I never get heated unless I'm called out for something that I did not do. Oh,
Right.
I was so mad. I was like, you've got to be kidding me right now. My phone's not even near me. He thought I was lying. He's like, I don't care. Detention, out of here now. And I was like, all right.
That's
Walk
funny you
down the
say
hall
that.
of shame, because my dad used to get detention all the time with what's her name, Miss Van the one
Oh,
that
Miss
was-
Van Driel.
Yeah, Miss Van Driel.
Yes.
My dad was terrified of Miss Van, by the way.
Yes.
And I was just like, I'm doing the walk of shame like my dad used to do down the hall. I was freaking out. And then it turns out I just spent my detention in the art room.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can go to a teacher. Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah.
what the kids like, because we can't have. They're not supposed to have phones in school during the school day. So like afterwards.
Right.
So, but that's what they say. Oh, I have my Apple calculator here. So
Yeah,
it's
right.
Like, well, I guess it is. So.
It's like, I can't be mad. Oh, but that will always forever be so funny. The damn calculator.
Calculators. Yes, it's. And you still have it. That's so cool.
I still have it. It's in a box in my closet. It says Greenwich Central. Wait next to it.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
You can tell the principal.
Yes, I'll have to let Mr. Neese know. Yeah, I know where there's one calculator we didn't get back.
We didn't get it back in like 2011.
Yes.
Oh man. So that is. There was another question that you had asked. What is?
Well, the advice that you'd give.
Oh, advice I'd give. So I had to write these down because I just like started thinking of stuff. So one of them, and this is like the most boring, quote unquote, adult thing, but it's like, take classes more seriously. Because, oh man, because I mean, also, this is huge too. So I mean, at the time, like ADHD, anxiety, all that thing, all those like just really weren't like really talked about ever. Depression, oh, you're going to who to talk about that? Like, oh, it's something that must be wrong with you. So I love that is so much more normalized,
Yeah, totally.
right? And like, at the time, I could never concentrate for anything, like ever. Well, that's why I would be dancing around the room, because I can't concentrate. And so, and like going to like the Smithsonian's now, or going to big museums that I go to, and I'm like, man, like I don't really remember like any of this history I'm going over. And it's just like, it just made me sad that I couldn't remember a lot of, and also I have some short-term memory stuff. So, but it's just kind of like, it just made me sad that I didn't totally remember all these wars or all these things. Like, history is so cool, and like, and also history, especially right now, is so important. And so it just makes me wish I really like paid attention to that stuff more, because then I could have more of a leg up on conversations that have to do with big things. So now I'm doing my due diligence as an adult, and just researching and like reading into all these things to like reteach myself, because I'm like, oh my God, like, Kayleigh, you did not do good.
Well, that's it. I didn't like history in high school, but now I love reading historical fiction, and especially a lot of it that I like, of course, is the women's point of view, and because
course.
that's not told in history books, and I just love it. Like, I love it.
Yeah. And like, of course, like this is like not even like something I would give advice, but for the girls in school, like learning kind of like learning your rights, learning all those things of like what made us get to the point that we're at now. And then I would totally challenge every teenage boy to like try to learn how they can protect the women around them. I think that'd be huge.
I love that.
Because again, Greenwich doesn't really do that kind of stuff. I don't know about now, but I know back in the day, like it was just all that stuff
and
really wasn't huge.
Yeah. I mean, in society as a whole doesn't, you know, I mean, it's way different than when I was in school and when you were in school too, but especially me. Like, the old teacher. The old teacher now.
Oh my God. But yeah, I think like learning that stuff is just, it's just very important, and I wish I cared more then. Because then when I was thinking about colleges, they're like, oh, you need a 3 I don't remember what it was, like 3.2, let's say. And I was like, oh, dang, like I have a 3.1, or like I'm half a point away. And luckily, thank God, like SUNY Potsdam is amazing. They have a Bridges program, which first to even like apply, like this guy came out to talk to us, and he's just like, you know what? I like your attitude. And that's where that was the second I learned being a good person really pays off.
Yes.
Like treating people with kindness, being a good person, like karma does come back. I believe it comes back for what's happening to my hair? I feel like it comes back more for the nice people than it does the bad people.
Yes.
Bad people, I think their karma is just slower coming, but like the people that are really good in the world, I think they just get paid a little bit sooner. So like for college, like I didn't have the GPA, but I had a good attitude, and they're like, we want your personality at our college. I was like, this is amazing. I didn't even know that could be a thing. And then I ended up getting like 8 scholarships just for being a good person. And I was like, I'm not even that smart, and I got 8 scholarships?
No, but you have so much like potential, like the ability to do it. So maybe you're not quote unquote smart, but I mean, you are smart. You're, what are they, like multiple intelligence is smart, you know, those kind of things. So.
I'm a Renaissance woman. I can master of all, but master of not one thing.
But many.
But yeah,
well,
that's the thing. It's like it drives,
I teach. You know,
it drives me nuts when I don't know something. I'm like, I need to know it though. So another thing I had wrote down was asking for help when you need it.
Oh, that's a good one.
Right. So for me, I hate asking for help. Even today, I hate asking for help. And usually it gets to a point where like people see it and they're like, what can I do? And it's just, I'm saying that for kids now, but also like still for me, because just asking for help is so crucial. Like just ask a teacher, just go to them. I guarantee you 9.999% they're going to say yes. And they're not going to look at you like you're dumb, like you think they are. They're going to be like, yeah, sure, like, let's sit down and do that.
Yeah.
What a crazy concept that a teacher would help you do something. What a concept. And then 2 more things. So the one big thing, because I'm sure the boys are too, but like I was so self-conscious because I'm like, oh my God, they're looking at me. Oh my God, they're looking at me. Like, oh my God, no one cares. Literally no one cares. If they care in high school, okay, that's going to be for 4 years. And you know what? You don't have to see those people when you go home. You don't need to talk to those people when you go home. Just, I hate to say, like, just kind of like, just get through it, ignore it. Because if you are top of their mind, you're living rent-free in their mind. So, touche to you.
Yes.
Because that just means they're very bored. They're very bored and have nothing else to do, and that's their own problem, not yours.
Right.
And the last thing is get out of Greenwich and see what the world has.
Yes.
Because if I were still, and I don't want to tell people like, Greenwich sucks. No, Greenwich is awesome. Oh my gosh. I grew up in Casiuna. Love it. I love going back to visit. But just seeing the world, like I went to France, I went to Italy, I lived in New York City in Midtown, I lived in Myrtle Beach, I live now in Raleigh. I lived up in Potsdam, Canada, basically. Like I've been all over the East Coast, and I travel all over too. And it is the coolest thing because Greenwich is very, I feel like, I don't want to say behind the times, but it's just like, there's really not much there.
It's good. Like go see it and then come back you know, but know that you had other options and then you chose to be here. If that's what it is, you know, choose where you want to be and what you want to do. I
think that's huge, is the choice, because a lot of people don't have choices, if you
Yeah.
have the opportunity to go somewhere, at least for 6 months,
Yep.
even for a month, like just go see
Right.
something for a week or two. Like I
Yeah.
think that's the coolest thing because then you just see what else there is. Like the houses down here are so much different than up there. That there's built differently, the way they do things, like there's no radon really here. Like it's just like
Oh
these
yeah,
little
here.
itty bitty things. You're like, oh wait, what? Like we have animals that are down here that are not up there, and it's just like,
Yes.
wait, what
Yeah.
is that thing? And it's just like it's just so cool, and I'm just very fascinated by the world. And even if you don't go to another country, just go to another state. Like,
Yeah. Be curious.
yeah, just stay curious. Staying
Yes.
curious is key. So,
Stay
But-
curious and learn. I mean, learn.
yes.
That's the other thing I
Always
like being with the kids because they teach me, well, things I probably don't need to know, like 6'7" or what have you. But
Like,
bottle
I
flipping.
hate that stuff. 6'7". Oh my gosh, that is actually hilarious. You're probably learned all sorts of words.
Oh, yes. Like fire. This was fire. I'm like, okay, what?
Have you heard what are the kids saying these days? That's cap.
No, I haven't. I don't think I've heard the cap.
I couldn't even tell you what it means. I just
I'll
hear it
ask.
sometimes.
I'll ask tomorrow.
Just be like, what's something mean when it's cap?
Yes.
I think either it means that's facts or that's crap. I literally cannot remember what it means. They're gonna laugh when they hear this. Be like, oh my
Yes.
god. Everyone listening is just cringing, like, oh Jesus.
Yes.
Oh man, that's so funny. But yeah, those are my four big. That's what I would
That's good. Yeah.
advise.
Yeah. And maybe
Also,
they'll listen. Maybe
don't
they won't.
make your cookies with salt.
Don't make your cookies.
Use sugar.
Okay. I did that once with a coffee. I went somewheres and bought a coffee, and then like you put your own sugar in it, but I like poured it, but it was salt. It wasn't sugar in the thing. Like, so maybe I didn't do it, but they put the wrong stuff in the thing. And I'm driving down the road. Yeah, I was in marketing, and I'm driving down the road, sip my coffee, and I'm like, why is it so salty?
Why is it so salt? Why is it so spicy? That's funny. Oh, last one is if you have opportunities to do internships, do them.
Yeah. Good. I agree with that.
Yeah, right? I know you would. Because in
we do have
college, when you're trying to figure out what the heck you want to do with your life, which, by the way, you might not be doing what you're spending all that money in college doing.
Yes.
Fun fact. Because I'm not.
Totally.
Because I was going to school for museum studies, and I wanted to do archives and preservations at the Smithsonian, D.C. And I just thought that was so cool. I don't think there's really much money in it, which is why I didn't go that way, because I couldn't afford to live in D.C. for the internship. But
Right. Yeah.
the cool thing, though, like in college, like I had to have internship hours for museums. So I was doing internships in Albany and New York City and Canada installing art galleries.
Oh, that's cool though. Like that's so cool.
It was so cool. Oh my god. Yeah, we took a puddle jumper from Potsdam to Albany, which, by the way, is the most terrifying thing I think I've ever done. Like 4 to 5 people on this little puddle jumper, and I could see everything the pilot's seeing, and I'm like, I don't want to see anything that he's seeing. Like, I don't want to see any of it.
Yes.
But I look out my little porthole of the window and call it good.
Yes.
And then we get to Albany, and mind you, like you're not going into the terminal, like you're outside on the runway because of the puddle
Right.
jumper. And you get off, and you're going in this little like white creepy van, and there's a beach chair in there for a seat. And there's only 3 of us. There's 4 of us at this point. So there's 2 of us in a beach chair, and then you have the driver, and then the passenger seat, and then we have all this artwork, and we're just holding it up. Oh, we had to drive from Albany to New York City like that, and it was awful.
Oh no.
It's all for the experience. It's a fun story
Yes.
now. It sucked at the time.
Right. Yes.
But yeah, be open to things, do internships, always learn all the fun stuff.
Yes. All the good
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, thank you. Like this is fun
This
to
was
answer.
great. It was
Right, this is so much
I'm
fun.
like, yeah, sure, why not? That'll be fun.
I'm like,
it'll
yeah,
be
you
fun
want to
just
do this thing with me?
to have a Dunkin' with you, you know? It was so funny how that came up like on my Facebook page as a memory. You saying, "Hey, how about going to Dunkin' or something?" I don't know. It was after you must have been in college, still and home for break. But I'm like,
Oh, that's right. That's when we would post on Facebook about meeting up with somebody.
Yeah, right? Right? It was like so long ago. I'm like,
Facebook's so weird when you think about it back then. I like hate looking at the stuff I used to post. I'm like, oh my God, so cringy.
Yeah.
Why did I post that? I don't know.
yeah.
Oh, I think your last question was why Duncan? At the time, it's because that's
Oh,
all
yes,
that
why
was
Duncan?
in Greenwich.
You're right.
Yep.
Yeah, we got a couple other places, a couple other little cool places now to go.
I'm happy because Greenwich needs
Yeah.
more than a Dunkin'.
Yeah.
Also,
I know.
Dunkin' Donuts are huge in upstate New York.
Yeah.
Like here, there's in Raleigh, I think I know maybe 2. And Raleigh's
Oh,
huge.
wow. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
every corner there's a Dunkin' or a Stewart's.
Oh my God, Stewart's. Why Dunkin'? Because I didn't realize how great Stewart's was at the time. Like anytime I'm back in town or doing whatever in New York, which has been like maybe 3 or 4 times over the last 15 years, every time I'm there, I get my buttered roll and I get my big, tall cup of hot coffee with hazelnut creamer. Every time. And then I have to get the mint cookie crumble ice cream because it's so good.
That's the best. Yeah.
My other advice for anyone in school, appreciate Stewart's. That place is amazing. It's a local hangout. So, but maybe next time when I'm in town, we'll meet up.
Yes.
You will probably be retired at that point because I'm never up there. But you can come down to Raleigh. Come see me. Love to
Oh,
fun
I
time.
could when I retire. Yes.
You could. You would have
There
all
we
you
go.
have all the time in the world.
I know, right? I'll be bored. I'll have to do some. I'll go around and interview all my former students, see what they're doing.
Oh,
Wouldn't
that'd
that
be
be fun?
so cute. Saunders' stories.
Oh, yes.
I kind of love it. Adorable. Well, normally I ask where people can find you, but I don't think you really want people finding you. Well, tell everyone that was a teacher back when I was there. Tell them I said hi. And I'm so excited for this episode to come out. Okay, well, thank you again, everyone
Okay,
who's
you're
listening.
welcome.
Go like, review, subscribe, listen to this fun stuff on YouTube if you're not listening there. Also, I have a Patreon, which is cheaper than your coffee. So, you can go support me there. And if you support me, it helps me pay to get this edited, because right now I'm editing it myself, and I absolutely hate it. So, please help a girl out. If you want to continue hearing these stories and want to keep my mental health sanity in check, please support me. That'd be so great. Other than that, we'll catch you next week, and yeah, thanks, Miss Saunders.
You're welcome. Thank you. This was fun.
Can you say it a little bit louder?
Thank you for listening.
There we go. Good job, Wessie.